This review is brought to you by that awkward-ass moment when you don't know what the hell debut video capture software is doing. I think I'm on. I see my face down here. Anyways, I hope you can hear me. I've been having some issues with audio compression, so I threw up a video yesterday of a beer I tried called Vertical Epic from Stone Brewing Company, but it was driving me nuts because my lips were moving, but no sound was coming out. Or sound was coming out and my lips weren't moving. So tonight I'm trying a different method. I'm actually recording from the webcam itself, audio-wise. See if I can avoid some of the latency that I was getting. I have, let's see what we can, move it over. Shipwrecked double IPA from Mission Brewery. These guys were nice enough to tweet back at me today, and they're in town. Well, kind of in town. I'm a little bit north of where they're at, and I haven't actually been down there, but tried a lot of their beers. In fact, I had one today at lunch at a sandwich shop that I go to. But they're good. I've only maybe had one beer I didn't really care for from there, and the beer itself wasn't bad at all. It just I wasn't particularly in the mood for that style at the time. It was their amber, and I've had it since then, and I think it's a really, really good beer. It just happened that night I was in IPA mode. I'm usually in IPA mode. I'm a hoppy beer kind of guy, so this kind of excites me. I want to get a chance to taste this one here, see what the bottle tells us. It is 9.25% alcohol volume, which means I'll probably drink it all here in about 20 minutes. Let's go ahead and open it up, see what we see, and then see what we taste. One of the things that I absolutely love about Mission Brewery is their bottle caps. They have their logo on them. I don't know where the center of the screen here is. They have their logo on them, and man, I love these things. I ought to collect these. Give it a pour. So I think if you can see this, and you can, I'll hold the glass up here in a minute. I gotta get it all the way full because I'm greedy like that. This glass is a glass that I picked up at Mother's 1-year anniversary. I'm going to drink this in a proper glass because my guess would be that this is a proper beer. It smells great. You can see the coloring is typically what you would expect from a double IPA. It's not quite amber. It's almost pale, but opaque. It's not see-through, and it shouldn't be. And maybe that conversation about IPAs is something that we'll have another time on the show, but especially because Kyle just brewed a double IPA. See what we smell here. So I get some, well, definitely hoppy, but it's citrusy, flowery almost characteristics to that smell with a maybe a little bit of a note of a biscuity finish to it almost. That might be perceived. I might be wanting to smell that. It's citrusy and hoppy, and this smells like my kind of beer. So I've talked about it on the show before. I have two ways of really, really tasting beer, and I think that when you drink beer this way, you have a tendency to get, well, not even a tendency, you get different kinds of characteristics from beer. So the first way we're going to taste it is just like we would if we were drinking wine. I'm not going to put it inside my lip and let it breathe and add oxygen to it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a small drink, let the beer kind of come back on my palate here, adapt on my palate. Everything else, see what we're tasting this way. So here we go. Woo! Man, that's good. So the hops are definitely evident. A little bit of a malty flavor to it at the start. The finish is coming in on the back right now, and that most likely because of the very, very small drink I took is why I'm picking up the hop bitterness. It's a double IPA. It's supposed to be bitter to start out with. I really like this so far. Let's see what it tastes like when I take a man's drink out of it. Ooh, that is a strong, powerful, well done double IPA. Before I get too far into this, the other guy that does a podcast with me, you guys probably see him on this channel eventually, Kyle, asked me when I taste this beer, because they tweeted at me today or happened to see that I was tweeting about their beer, would I be honest? 100% honest. Yes. I like this beer. I give it 2 thumbs up. I get a grapefruity kind of finish to it at the very, very end when I drink it that way. It's a good balance of your malt and the hop bitterness, which is something I know I say it a lot, but I do because I think on a not even a less trained, a beginning brewer is or beer drinker in general is going to understand those flavors because it's very easy to distinguish, what's bitter and what's sweet. And I say malty, that's kind of your sweet flavor. The grapefruit characteristic that I'm picking up on the end of this, grapefruit, citrusy, that's something that maybe you've got to be a little bit more attuned to, something that you're picking up. And as I'm sitting here and this is settling in my jaws here or whatever else, I'm getting that flavor a little bit more. It feels like, and I don't want to say you ate the peel of an orange because that's obviously something that doesn't taste good and you wouldn't appreciate that flavor. It tastes like when you drink grapefruit juice and you have that aftertaste that kind of hangs around afterwards. Let's give it one more taste because I like beer, in case you didn't know. That's a good beer. There are double IPAs around here. Mother Earth does the one that I kind of prefer the most. Very, very similar to like a Pliny the Elder. This is really good. I think if I was around this more often, I probably would be more likely to drink this beer than I would be to drink any of the other double IPAs that I've gotten up. And one of the things that I find very, very interesting about this beer, and I think increases its drinkability, is the fact that it doesn't taste overpoweringly hoppy, which is something that you might expect hearing, double IPA. But anyways, guys, Shipwrecked double IPA. Somehow I'm going to be able to turn this. There we go. Shipwrecked double IPA by Mission Brewery. Good beer. If you see it out there, pick it up, give it a try. I think you're going to like it. Assuming you're an IPA person. It does taste like an IPA. So if you don't like those and you're into your stouts and your porters, like somebody else that I talked to today on Twitter, avoid this beer probably, I guess, because even though I think it's great, it's definitely an IPA style. Till next time, guys, keep brewing.